I just found out I'm gonna destroy AI. Me and all your favorite authors. Because a judge has just allowed the largest class action copyright lawsuit ever to proceed against Anthropic's AI, aka large language model, aka chatbot, which was trained to do its verbal regurgitation off of 7 million books that Anthropic did not pay for. And if you wrote one of those books, you're going to be automatically enrolled in this class action lawsuit. And authors like me could be awarded, there is legal precedent, up to $150,000 for each of our works that were stolen. And the AI industry is crashing out about this. The Consumer Technology Association warned that this erroneous class certification will threaten immense harm not only to a single AI company, but to the entire fledgling AI industry and to America's global technological competitiveness. Well, I find it very encouraging that the AI industry is in such a tizzy over this class action suit. There are authors groups that are opposing this class action lawsuit as well. Because basically there's a very short window of time, just a few weeks, to certify every one of the 7 million people that are going to be involved in this class. And copyright issues can often be thorny. So they're saying it would actually take a lot more time to be able to work out who all should be involved. And there's also the issue of opt-out. Every single author who had a work stolen for this data training is going to be automatically enrolled in the case, but they may not even know that until their window of time to opt out has passed. Why would an author want to opt out? Well, maybe they want to lawyer up and get their own lawyer and attack Anthropic in a different legal way over the rights to their work, which was stolen, which was never sold to this AI training company. But if you don't opt out, then whatever happens with this class action lawsuit, that's going to be the compensation that you get, and you won't be able to then bring your own suit in addition, at least against Anthropic. So on the one hand, if the judge were to really be based and award that $150,000 to all 7 million claimants, that would mean charging AI $1.5 trillion, which is probably not going to happen. But there are many sums less than that, even orders of magnitude less than that, that would make AI just completely unprofitable, which it should be, because all it does is regurgitate real human beings' labor without compensation. And it does it while poisoning our air, creating enormous amounts of noise pollution, draining and polluting our water tables so that people living nearby can't even get water from their tap, driving people into psychosis by telling them whatever they want to hear and feeding their delusional fantasies, convincing people to divorce their spouses over arbitrary reasons, even encouraging children to themselves. Oh, and dooming us all to extinction by erasing any progress on climate emission reductions. But y'all are willing to trade all that instead of paying writers to write. Cool. Okay, but what I was saying was why some authors groups are actually nervous about this class action lawsuit is another thing the judge could do is settle this case with awarding authors a pittance, like $1 a book. And then Anthropic has to just pay 7 million. That's not that much for an AI company. And then it's settled that these AI companies are allowed to just steal all our shit as long as they're going to pay us some shit little settlement in the future. And that'll become then precedent in law. And if you haven't opted out of the case, you won't have any ability to relitigate that suit. But for my part right now, I don't have the money and the bandwidth to bring my own lawsuit against a tech giant corporation. So I'm just going to let myself go ahead with the class action lawsuit and hope for the best. And if that's you too, here are some resources you can use to stay on top of this case. Or if you're not an author, but you want to help spread the news of this case, you can use these resources as well and send them to your favorite authors. I'm hearing so few authors talk about this in digital spaces, and I reached out via text to some of my author friends and none of them had heard of it. So how do you know if your books were stolen? Well, the list hasn't been posted yet as far as I could see, but I bet they use LibGen, which was the same pirated books database that Meta used to train its AI. And The Atlantic made a searchable list where you can go and type in the names of your books or just type in the name of yourself as an author and see what came up. My first 4 books were all on there, even though these were all indie published, and 3 of them got very few sales. I can't believe someone even bothered to put them on a piracy site. So even if you're indie pubbed or self-pubbed, don't rule yourself out. Next, the Authors Guild has an information page where you can get more detailed information about which books are actually eligible based on whether you registered for an ISBN, whether your copyright was certified. And you can also sign up there to make sure you're getting regular updates from the Authors Guild about what's happening with this case. And side note, just to plug, please join the Authors Guild. We don't have a union as authors, but the Authors Guild is like the closest thing to that. They're a legal team that is standing up for all of our interests. And then from that Authors Guild site, there's a link to sign up with the actual law firm that is representing us authors in this case. And by giving them proactively your email address and the ISBN numbers of your books, you're just helping them with that labor of like tracking down these 7 million people that they need to be informing about what's happening with the case. I'll put clickable links to all those resources in my camera app stories. And finally, if you want to help financially ruin AI, then it's a good idea to be talking a lot about this case and talking about how you support the authors. So to that end, please help me overcome some terrible channel suppression lately and leave a comment telling me either who your favorite authors are and why you love them, or give me your most sarcastic but algorithm-friendly comment about why you love AI.